reached out my hand to turn off my alarm. I didn't want to awaken. I had been having a delicious dream about Solomon and his kisses. I moaned as my being came alive, remembering the way he made me feel yesterday. My eyes flew open. What was I doing? I had a roommate. I can't be laying in bed fantasizing about a man that was way out of my league, who had probably forgotten my name by now. I sat up and let out a breath of relief. Jessica's bed was still untouched. The clothes she had sprung all out on it yesterday while getting dressed were still there. I sat for a minute thinking about that. Had she spent the night with that man she left the party with? Had he made her feel the things that Solomon had made me feel? Did she know how sleeping with a man outside of marriage made her look? But what about me? I wasn't even better than she. I had allowed a complete stranger to touch me inappropriately, and I loved every minute of it. My hands flew to my mouth. Oh man, I didn't come to college and become a whore. I scrambled out of bed quickly and hit my knees. Our Father, which dwells in the heavens, set apart be thy name, thy kingdom come. Let your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us for our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the wicked one. For thy is the kingdom, and the power, and the esteem, forever and ever. Amen. Dear Father Yah, please forgive your servant, because I have sinned. I let a man that is not my husband have his way with me, and I have become a loose woman. Please, Abba Yah, in the mighty name of Yahushua the Messiah, give me the strength to fight any temptations that may come my way. And please, Father, make it so that I fade from the memory of that man. In the name of Yahushua Messiah, I pray. I say, Amen. I stayed on my knees a little longer just listening. This was something that Ema had showed me how to do. She said when you needed the Father most, sometimes the best thing to do was just stop, be still, and just listen. And I needed the Father to keep Solomon away from me. No boy or man has ever affected me so. Boys from our old school have tried to flirt with me, and so have a couple of men. Bill from the corner store always flirted with me when I went in there. And that really cute bus driver, I forgot his name, he used to always flirt with me when I got on his bus. But never has any of them ever had the power to turn my brain into mashed potatoes and paralyze my body, so that he could do all kinds of inappropriate things to me. Now that I think about it, it must be some kind of voodoo. Solomon was some kind of sorcerer. Yes, that's it. How else can you explain how he made me feel? And see, I believe in that. I believe that there's people out here that just ain't right. Please, Father, I need you to put a hedge of protection around me and keep me safe from all voodoo. Amen. I stood and quickly grabbed my robe to head to the shower. I decided the best way to deal with my roommate is to try and avoid her. So if I could be showered and dressed and out the room by the time she got back, that would be a bonus. After I dressed in my favorite yellow summer dress, another spectacular find at the thrift store, I took my hair down and brushed the thick curls out. I picked up a little water bottle and wet my hair, causing the curls to tighten a bit. I applied a little lavender oil and I let it fall down my back. Today was a good day to wear my hair down. I put on my yellow headband and put a little lip gloss on my lips. After I put my gold loops in, yep, you guessed it, another thrift store find, I was ready to go. I grabbed my multicolored Native American weaved book bag and I headed out. There were several things I needed to do today, one being finding a job. Then I wanted to walk the campus to find my classes so I'll know how to get to them come Monday. Then I would end at the bookstore. Then maybe I'll find somewhere to eat dinner and burn some time and wait my roommate out. Hopefully, by the time I get back home, she would have found a party and be gone by then. First place I headed was the campus cafeteria. But on my way, I ran into a crowd of people that stood around a statue of a black man on a horse. I heard a harmony that sounded soulful and sad. I stood on my toes so that I could see over the crowd. Coming down the lane was about 20 guys, all dressed in silver and black. And they were all harmonizing different lyrics, yet it all fit together perfectly. This was Solomon's fraternity. I recognized some of the guys from last night. Phil, the guy that had interrupted our kiss, walked on the side of the group as if he was their captain. He was making some kind of strange noise with his mouth. Then suddenly they came to a complete stop. "What are they doing?" I asked a girl standing next to me. She looked at me like I was crazy. "Girl, they finna stomp." "Hey, Thetas," Phil called at the top of his lungs. "They want to pretend like we can't stomp. They want to pretend like we don't run this school." I looked at the girl. Do they? Do they what? Do they run the school? "Oh yes, baby. The Thetas run this school." She and everybody else looked at them as if they were superheroes. Of course, in my weeks in preparing for college, I had studied college life extensively, and I read that the college chapters was a very big part of it. "Hey, Thetas," Phil called. "They want to act like we ain't fly. Can you believe that?" "Hell no," the group yelled in union. Then Phil, with powerful movements, jumped into the air and clapped his hands under his legs and around him. Then the group started moving like him. Their movements were powerful and sure. They jumped together and then did something where they jumped apart, and when they parted, Solomon came walking down the lane. He wore a smug look on his face and he was doing something weird with his hands. "Who is that?" I asked my little information fountain. "That, my dear, is the king and their leader." Ain't he fine? Every girl on campus want to be his woman. I looked at her, and sure enough, she watched him like he was a piece of meat. I looked around, and most of the girls, and even a couple of the guys, looked at him the same way. Well, at least I'm not the only one falling prey to his spell. Okay, I've seen enough of this. I really needed to find me some coffee and maybe a muffin. I turned and walked into the cafeteria, and I could smell the pork bacon cooking as soon as I opened the door. The cafeteria was full of students, some of them rushing through their breakfast. Probably had a full day like me. This was the last business day to get things done. At least it was for me. Tomorrow was Saturday and the Sabbath, so that meant no working. The cafeteria was set in several different stations. One station served the typical eggs and bacon kind of breakfast. Another station served several cereals and oatmeals, and another had fruits and muffins and pastries. I walked towards that one. "Shalom, Makoti." I looked up surprised to hear the Hebrew greeting and looked into the smiling face of a beautiful sister. She had long dreads and had them wrapped in a multicolored scarf that matched her dress. I smiled big. "Hey, Shalom, how are you?" "I'm good," she said, making her way to stand by my side at the station. "My name is Hadaria. What's yours?" "Stormy," I told her. She put down her tray and embraced me in a big hug. "You don't know how good it is to see you, Stormy." "Who you telling? I thought I was going to be the only awake brew here." "Hallelujah. I knew this was a blessing from Yah." "Nah, Koti, I'm here. Come on, let's get our food and find us a table so we can talk." I nodded, so glad to see her. Right off, I could tell she was an upperclassman, and she was very pretty. I could tell she had a gentle nature about herself, you know. I grabbed a muffin and coffee, and I followed her out to the sitting area. "So, what year are you?" I took a sip of my coffee before I answered. I am one of those people that couldn't quite function right without it. "Freshman, you?" This is my last year. This news hurt. I would only have her for 1 year. She must have read the look of disappointment on my face. She picked up my hand and rubbed the back of it. But don't worry, I live close by. See, I told you, she had one of those gentle souls. What's your major? For now, it's early childhood development, I told her. But you know, that will probably change a couple of times before graduation. Kind of thinking about minoring in anthropology. Wow, the study of people, she said, looking at me in a new light. I saw her mind calculating. One of my favorite things to do. What about you? Creative writing. Okay, that explained her calculating look. She was going to pick my brain. Yeah, when I first started, my major was early childhood development too. Then I changed my mind and I decided I wanted to write children's books. That is so cool. We really need more Hebrew writers. I know, right? She told me. I get so tired of trying to find good literature for my little bot. I tell her that Disney is not where it's at, but then she has nothing to read. Everywhere you turn is Cinderella or Snow White, Superman or Iron Man. I tell her stories of real heroes from the scriptures like Samson and Gideon, I added. She laughed and continued, and King Solomon, King Dawid. I also write Hebrew love stories. If you want to read them. Before she could finish talking, I had grabbed her hand. I would love to read them. You don't know how frustrating it is to want to read a good book but can't find anything that relates to me or my culture. She laughed at my enthusiasm, but I didn't care. I was ecstatic. I loved to read love stories, but I hated that there was no stories that spoke of my Hebrew heroes and damsels in distress. I couldn't wait. That won't be a problem, little coat. I smiled at her calling me little sister. She felt so genuine to me. What are you getting into today and tomorrow? Well, I have to find a job like yesterday. I pinched off my muffin. Then I was going to head back to the bookstore. Tomorrow's kind of just going to maybe find a park or something and read my scriptures. Do you know how to wait tables? No, I've never done it before. It ain't rocket science, little Coty. I'm sure you'll get the hang of it. I work at a diner and I could probably get you hired if you want to work there. Do I want to work there? I almost yelled. Yes, I want to work there. It would be a blessing. Okay, well, we'll go there after breakfast. And about tomorrow, my Ish and I, we fellowship with these brews in the next town. You can ride with us if you want. I almost jumped out of my seat and kissed her. Instead, I just sat there nodding, grinning like a bobcat. But I gotta warn you. Have you heard of that camp called YWS? I sat back in my chair as the smile disappeared from my face. Of course I had heard of YWS. What a Wake and Brew hadn't. I have seen them on videotape several times, and I didn't understand their form of ministering. I don't want to judge nobody because I too struggle in my walk. Just look at my behavior last night. But I didn't understand how this group could say they believed in the Messiah but displayed no fruits of the Spirit whatsoever. My Ima would shake her head when I played their videos for her. They cursed out the white man they referred to as Edom and the black woman. She would say, I can understand that anger. But it was our fault that the curses happened to us. And even in our anger, we must remember to be careful with His word. It is a sacred thing and not to be used in such a vile way. Then she would tell me, turn it off because she couldn't take it no more. You fellowship with them? I asked the Coty. Kinda, sorta. The teacher of this branch is my Ish's brother, so you know how that goes. She winced and shrugged at the same time. I want to ask her more questions about that dynamic, but I didn't want to hurt her feelings. However, one question I had to know for my own safety. Will I be alright if I go there? I mean, will they try to hurt me? She laughed. They're not as bad as they appear on the videotapes, although sometimes I really got to pray and ask y'all for strength because some of the teachings is a little questionable. But thank Yah, my Ish, he isn't like that. I wondered what kind of husband would take his wife to a place that has so little regard for women, but I knew I had to go with her to be there when she needed me. Okay, I'll go. You will? She looked surprised. Yeah, Yah will protect us. I hugged her. I didn't want my new friend to feel bad. Okay, well, let's go get you that job. Yay! I clapped and did a little happy dance in my seat. Just then, Solomon and his group walked in the cafeteria, and the place came to life. Hadaria shook her head. He's a pretty popular guy, huh? I tried my best not to look as interested in him as I was. Who? She asked. Solomon? Yeah. Oh yeah, he's definitely king of this campus. But don't worry about him. Lowly people like you and me are not allowed in his realm. Come on, let's get out of here. We got a full day ahead of us. I nodded and grabbed my things. When I stood, I let my eyes stray across the cafeteria one more time, and all the breath slammed out of my body. His intense gaze was sealed on me, and it was a reminder of his hands on me last night. I don't know how long I stood drowning in his stare, but eventually Hadaria touched my arm. You okay, Koti? She asked. I nodded, looking away from him. Yeah, I'm good. Let's get out of here.